Happy Independence Day, everybody. Celebrate your independence and remember our history.
This is part three of my series on the fragility of democracy and the moments when American democracy didn't just wobble, it got hollowed out from the inside. This time, the collapse didn't come through violence, it came through fear. The kind of fear that makes people keep their heads down, that convinces them to say nothing, to question nothing, to submit just to survive. That fear had a name: McCarthyism. The Cold War was just beginning. The Soviet Union had exploded its first nuclear bomb. China had turned communist. There were spies, and the American people were scared. Enter Senator Joseph McCarthy, a first term nobody from Wisconsin. In 1950, he waved a piece of paper in the air and told the country he had a list of 205 communists working in the State Department. He didn't. There was no list, no evidence, no vetting. But the lie didn't matter. The fear was already doing the work. McCarthy built an entire political career on smoke and paranoia. He held public hearings, bullied witnesses, accused people of being communists without a shred of proof. He turned Congress into a three-ring circus, and the press helped sell tickets. Again, feel like deja vu. He destroyed lives: writers, teachers, journalists, government workers who lost everything for being suspected. People were blacklisted, fired, silenced, not because of what they did, but because of what they were accused of thinking. And Americans watched it happen on television. Hollywood caved and fired writers like Dalton Trumbo, who ghostwrote one of my all-time favorite films, Roman Holiday. Schools purged faculty. Books disappeared from libraries. Entire communities learned to self-censor because asking questions became dangerous, and no one wanted to be next. In On Tyranny, Timothy Snyder writes, "To abandon facts is to abandon freedom. If nothing is true, then no one can criticize power." That was at the heart of McCarthyism and Trumpism. Facts didn't matter. Only accusations did. Only loyalty did. Oh my God. And if you questioned it, if you asked for proof, you were probably a communist too. What finally broke the fever? It took 4 years and destroyed countless lives. But in 1954, during the Army McCarthy hearings, McCarthy came after a young lawyer working for the U.S. military. That's when Army Counsel Joseph Welch finally said it out loud on national television. "Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?" That moment flipped the script. The public turned on McCarthy. He was censured by the Senate and died of alcoholism 3 years later. But the damage had already been done. McCarthyism wasn't a blip, it was a blueprint. It showed how easy it is to weaponize fear, how quickly people will trade liberty for safety, or at least the illusion of it. And it showed how fragile truth becomes when no one is willing to speak it. And let's not forget, while McCarthy was waging war on ideas, Black Americans were waging a very different kind of fight against segregation, disenfranchisement, and legal apartheid. The civil rights movement was stirring in the 1950s, but the same country that punished people for leftist politics also turned a blind eye while Black Americans were denied the right to vote, go to school, or live with dignity. Fear was a tool of repression. So was silence. And the systems McCarthy defended weren't just anti-communist, they were racially rigged from the start. Now, in 2025, the script has flipped back again. Trump's back in power, whistleblowers are demonized, critics are branded as traitors, books are being banned, this time under the guise of fighting wokeness, which I plan to address in a coming lesson. And state legislatures are demanding ideological loyalty from teachers, librarians, and public servants. McCarthy didn't need a gun. He had a microphone and a lie. Trump has social media and a movement willing to destroy democracy in its name. So here's what we do. We speak anyway. Fear only wins if we shut up. Teach the truth, even when they don't want it taught, especially when they don't want it taught. Refuse to be silent, because silence is what made the rise of McCarthy possible. If you're waiting for some big authoritarian moment to signal the end of democracy, stop. That's not how it works. It starts like this. McCarthy didn't just damage democracy by accusing the innocent. He distracted the nation from the deeper rot it didn't want to face. Because while people were being blacklisted for old political associations, Black Americans were still being beaten, jailed, and killed for demanding basic civil rights. And when that movement gained momentum in the 1960s, the backlash came fast and from the highest levels of government. That's where we're going next. Episode 4 is about what happens when a multiracial democracy tries to be born, and what powerful people are willing to do to stop it.
This is his white paper. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them gaslight you. This has been done before. I'm tired of history repeating itself. We have the ability to stop that. So, happy 4th of July to all of you. I do wish you a good and safe one. In my opinion, you can celebrate the country without celebrating what's going on now. So celebrate it. Light off fireworks and light off your mouth. Let them know. Tell them. Listen to this reasonable white lady. She knows what she's talking about.